are back. Avery Sports Show, the webcast, livestream.com. I got a hold of Jessica finally. She's not following me on Twitter. That's a bonus. So we got her number. We're going to call her because, once again, the show number is acting up. So we're going to call her right now, as we've done before many times on Avery Sports Show. We've gone through the funny process of calling our guests, which usually results in comedic gold, because I always get it wrong the first time. Okay, here we go. Calling an Olympian. No pressure. Oh, here we go. Da-da-da-da-da. There we go. Boom. Oh, sorry. There we go. We got Skype up. There we go. And here we go.
Hello?
Hey, Jessica. How you doing? Avery here.
Hey, finally.
I know, sorry, but my show number is a bit weird. It acts up sometimes. And calls can't get through.
Oh, okay. Well, anyways, I'm going to be figured it out over Twitter.
Exactly. Now, I want to have you on my show since I know it's and you had a great Olympic Games this year, Jessica. I know we went over. I know, actually, going back to Olympic trials. I mean, you shocked the world in Calgary in Olympic trials, 100-meter hurdles.
Yeah, it seems like forever ago. Trials. It's been a crazy road since the trials. That was such a high for me. I wasn't expecting going into the Olympic trials. I wasn't expecting to leave with such a high, with the heptathlon Canadian record there, and then winning the hurdles. It was just a bit of a shocker, and I had to, come down from that and get my feet grounded again before going to the Olympics. So yeah, it was a little bit difficult, but it was crazy, unexpected.
And of course, what's it like for you going back to London? I mean, your second Olympic Games. I know one thing everybody's wondering, Olympic Games, we're going to go have some fun. You didn't really do a whole lot of fun before the Games. You went to Germany, I believe. You went to Germany before your events. How come?
The whole track team, the Athletics Canada, went to Germany for a pre-training camp because same with in Beijing, we only go into the village a couple of days before our competition.
Oh.
So each athlete goes in, depending on what day they're competing, to go in 2 or 3 days, whatever they're comfortable with, before they compete, because just to help with distractions and all that. And what we actually do is we go into the village on the way to Germany. So we get our key, we know where we're staying, we can drop some things off, check out the cafeteria, get familiar with the setting, and then go to Germany for a week, and then come back and just like game time, right? So no worries about all those things, and just ready to show up and play.
I know in the village, was the cafeteria as nuts as it was? Because I heard in the cafeteria, there were some days you walk by and, there's Usain Bolt. Oh, there's Kobe Bryant. Was there anybody from different sports you saw that was like, wow, I can't believe so-and-so just walked past me?
Yeah, no, you know what? I'm really bad with that type of stuff. I know Usain just because I have actually literally bumped into him a couple times. But otherwise, like, with all the famous athletes, I kind of, I know who they are somewhat, but I don't really follow them. I'm not a huge tennis fan or basketball fan, and I'm not, more people are more excited for me to go to see these people than I was actually excited to see these people. So it wasn't such a big deal. And I think a lot of the athletes, we just kind of get used to seeing each other around. But then there's some other athletes who, kind of harass these people who just want to go and eat breakfast, eat lunch, and not get a picture taken every 5 seconds. So you can kind of appreciate that and just want to leave them alone and let them do their thing, because they're there to compete too, right? So we got to give them their space.
No, of course. And for you and Brianna Tyson, what would it like to compete in London? Because, I mean, London has such a huge Olympic background. I mean, it's a very cool city when it comes to sports.
London?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is, especially with track. They really love their athletics, and it's really cool in that way because the stadium was full. It was absolutely full with people who seem to, be very excited about track and their athletes and know a bit about the sport, how to clap properly and cheer at the right times, not when the gun is about to go off and all that. So it was really neat to have the stands full for every session, and the whole vibe in London was really cool because they just love their sport there, and they seem to be even by the end of the 2 weeks, the volunteers are still, eager and eager to help out, and smiles everywhere. They weren't starting to like ignore you or get fed up with people. They're just so happy to be involved.
Right. Of course, what are nerves like? I mean, it's London, it's the second games. I'm sure you're still in awe. And of course, competing against, hometown girls with Jessica Ennis. I mean, the nerves still must be on a scale of 1 to 10 out of 45.
For 45, for what?
I'm saying for your nerves, they must have been high on the scale, yeah.
Yeah, it was exciting though. It was exciting nerves. It was probably the most intense feeling that I felt. Beijing, it was kind of the same thing, but this was different because everyone was yelling, "Go Jessica," which is my name, and it was just the feel in the stadium. It was very intimate. It felt very intimate and ginormous and intense, but it was really good. But it was just I feel that way on the track with the nerves and everything else. It's just you kind of have to just let it take over and just breathe through. You can't really resist it. It's just kind of like, okay, I probably won't be feeling these feelings ever anytime else in my life, so I can at least appreciate these feelings for what they are, and just kind of breathe through it and just focus on what I have to do and just kind of take it in that way, even though it's really hard to do that. So.
Right, of course, you gain even more popularity because you had a campaign to bring your husband and your daughter to London with you for the games here this year.
Yeah, it was just kind of, I literally just thought of it on the spot when I saw my bid from trials because it has my name on it, it has my Twitter handle on it, I broke the Canadian record and won the 2 events. So I thought, it's kind of special, and I have so many bids at home, and I was like, maybe someone would appreciate this. And then I was kind of looking around for a kid to give it to, right? And I was like, well, it's a little more special because of the Olympic year and with the Canadian record too that I broke. So I was like, maybe, since I have so many followers, well, I didn't have as many as I do now after the Olympics, but I was like, maybe I can tap into this social media stuff that my husband forced me to do. He thought, you should go to Twitter and Facebook and get a website. And I was like, oh my God, do I have to? He's like, that's what you have to do. I'm like, I'm 30 years old. Do I need to really get Facebook? I don't know. I still don't know how to use it. But anyways, and it paid off because I put it up on Twitter, and I got a great response. And UFC alumni ended up bidding the highest and helped pay for part of the travel expenses for my daughter and husband to come to watch the Olympics because it ain't cheap going to London, even without the Olympic Games there.
No, that's true. I know in London, though, I know you're targeted. Your goal would be 6,600 points in London, though. But it had to be tough to fall short of that mark, though, in London and finish in 7th place in heptathlon. That must have really hurt, though, still for you.
Yeah, it was really hard to process all of that, especially since I had the hurdles right after. I didn't really get a chance to really come to terms with what happened because it was such mixed emotions because I did so well in 5 of the events, and the 6th event was fine, it was acceptable, but it's just that one high jump it went very poorly and it just destroyed my score, and I didn't really know why. I had I wasn't 100% consistent going into the Olympics, so I couldn't expect 100% consistency obviously, and sport is sport on top of that. But after I gained those results and then having to be able to refocus and do the hurdles, that was the hardest part because I just really wanted to just park it and just lie in my bed for a week after that and just do nothing and think about nothing and just soak it in because I was kind of in shock, You focus for so many years on these things. Like, it wasn't just a 4-year cycle. Like, this is from way back. I've been doing heptathlon for I've been in Calgary for 10 years, training for it with my coach. That's dramatic. So, this is a long-time dream, and this is when I really felt I was in a position to really execute and do what I knew I could do. And to fall short of that and to be like, okay, well, I didn't even think about what was going to happen after the Olympics. I didn't know if I'd go for another Olympics. I kind of didn't think so. I'm a mother, I have a 3-year-old child, and my husband has careers he wants to pursue as well, So it's kind of like I didn't even think about what would happen if I didn't meet my goals. And I was kind of left with that afterwards and having to just forget about it and go do the hurdles and refocus. And that's what I think I was the most I felt the best leaving the Olympics was my ability to be focused, to do the hurdles and do exactly what I thought I could do in the hurdles. And even after the hurdles, my interview with CTV or whatever, I haven't seen it yet, but I was kind of still in this kind of zombie mode shock. Like I didn't know what to make of anything. Never mind the heptathlon, but the hurdles, I was in the finals, and this was my first time in an international meet, and I wasn't expecting, I knew I could make the finals based on how fast I could run, but there I was next to these people I've never raced before, Sally Pearson and Lola, well, whatever, Lola's not that important, but, other people that you see on TV all the time, and it's just shocking, and
Right.
to run again, yeah, it was amazing. It was amazing. I think once things clear up a bit and have time to think about these things after I moved to Connecticut, then I'll appreciate for what it was, really.
Right. I know one thing, though. Heptathlon is a very American and a European dominated field. So what would it like to have Brianna Tyson competing with you, too? What would it like to have some more Canadian content racing against you?
Say that again, sorry?
I think, what would it like to have some Canadian content with you in heptathlon? Because, it's mainly Europeans and more Americans in heptathlon.
Yeah. Well, you know what? The Canadians are stepping up. There's, heptathlon's pretty deep in Canada. Like, Rookie was another Canadian girl from Vancouver. She didn't qualify this year because of injury, but she was in World. So it's been many years since there's been two Canadian heptathletes at World Championships, never mind Olympics. I don't think it's probably ever happened. And Brianna did awesome. I think she ended up coming 11th in the end.
Yeah, she did. It was 11th.
Yeah, so two Canadians in top 11th. It was top 10, but because of the enemies. So that's pretty amazing. And she still has a lot more to come. She's still young, and she's very talented.
Of course, right now, I guess for Canada, the future for track and field right now, it's incredibly bright for all you guys.
Yeah, and I think we kind of showed that at the Olympics. It was a young team, but everyone was spunky and ready to just go out there and compete and not really, just do their own thing. And that's the main thing, like not to get so dramatic and take ourselves too seriously, and just like, you know what, I qualified, I earned this spot, I'm just going to do what I know I can do and leave it at that. And everyone did show up and perform what they could perform, and we got tons of top 8 performances and personal bests and seasonal bests. And it's a very deep team, and a team that most of them are going to be aiming for Rio. So that's very, very promising for our sport. And I think a lot of people at home watching were getting excited about track again, and that's always so cool to see.
No, of course, and even though the 4x100 team, even though the boys was qualified, though, the amount of hope that they brought to this country was still fantastic. It still shows what they could do in men's track. I'm sure, of course, you saw that race.
I didn't. I was putting my daughter to bed.
Oh, really?
And I went on Twitter after, and I just saw all it was right when they were peeling and all that. I was like, what the heck just happened? So I didn't even see the race. But yeah, that was amazing. And you know what? It's obviously really hard for them, and but they're such good guys. Like, they have such good character, and they've taken it really well, and they've just made, I think, Canada even more proud just by the way they responded to the setback. And we have such great character, and it just says so much for our team and our country, really, the athletes we have, and we're so proud they represent us.
Now, of course. Now to your season, I know your Diamond League's done. So I guess now it's back to being a mom and a wife now until next summer.
Yeah, well, we're moving to Connecticut, so I'm in Ontario right now with my parents, with my daughter, because my husband's in Connecticut. We don't have a place to stay yet, so I'm going to be going back to Calgary this weekend to pack up stuff and then head back here until we have a place. So it's a little bit hectic. This is my downtime, so I'm not training, but it's also really hard being a mother on vacation because I'm doing stuff with her all the time. We're going to the fair, we're going apple picking, we're going all these places. I'm chasing after her like a mad woman, and it's just all over the place, and it's exhausting.
I can imagine.
I need my 1 hour a day of exercise just to burn the steam off. That's fun.
That's fun. And Jessica, you know what? I want to thank you so much for coming on my show. You're the first Olympian I've had on my show. You're the first one. I want to thank you so much.
Well, you know what? You're the first 19-year-old guy I've been on the radio with, so there you go.
Thank you.
You're
You know
19,
what?
right?
I am 19. Yes, I am 19.
That's crazy. Yeah, that's crazy. Congratulations.
Exactly. Yeah, you know what? I'm out east often though, so maybe we'll meet up in sometimes. You know, I'm always in Toronto, so.
Oh, cool. Nice.
Yeah. All right, Jessica, it's been a blast. So hope we can do it again sometime.
Yeah, sounds good. I'll see you on Twitter.
Of course. Later, Jessica.
Okay, thanks for having me.
Bye.
Bye.
Jessica Zelinka. Nice. That's how we do on Avry Sports Show. We'll take another commercial break, and we will be right back to wrap up the show. Avry Sports Show, the webcast, livestream.com/Avry Sports. Keep it locked and keep it fresh.